Good afternoon, Macaque City. I'm Hugh Berger, and you're listening to Radio Skyline, your place to keep pace with everything in town and beyond. Joining me from our own home is Myra. Hello, Myra. And today is the day of the big public debate between our local politicians Don Albo and Sabrina Wadford. Yeah, it's actually kind of an annual tradition. See, they're elected by gerrymandered districts of the city, and they can't be not re-elected, so they put on this show of competition with each other for our benefit. Since they own our station, I was kind of hoping we'd get to moderate. I certainly wasn't hoping that myself. Well, I'll take my little delusions of grandeur where I can get them, you know? Well, you're not a grand person today. No, apparently not. That honor will be going to Tubby Dan of Tubby Dan's Barbecue. He's viewed as an impenetrable staple of the city, on par with the long-lasting influence of the politicians themselves, and is 100 times more respected. The man stands for good food, and he delivers on it. The proceedings are about to begin, so let's listen in. Hello and welcome to Tubby Dan Presents an Argument. On my left is an out-of-touch rich person. On my right is an out-of-touch rich person. Together they're going to help us lose faith in our democratic process. I'm Tubby Dan of Tubby Dan's Barbecue. I will preside impartially and dangerously over this argument. Whenever I am displeased, the person who displeased me will earn a demerit. I will not inform them when they have received a demerit. It is not publicly known what the demerit means, but I promise you do not want one. No one is safe from receiving a demerit. Whether you're one of the rich people, the cameraman, or even watching from home, you may do something that displeases me. Know that there will be consequences. Let's begin. Rich person A, you are fantastically wealthy. When given the drug that is power and influence, what will you do to justify your pathetic, lowly primate existence?
Well,
I'm glad you asked, Dan.
Wait. Which one of us is rich person A?
Do not refer to me as Dan. We are not friends. We will never be friends. You will both defer to me as Tubby Dan. My full title and identity. The one with the annoying voice goes first.
Well, thank you,
Well,
Tubby
to answer
Dan.
that question in a nutshell, all I can
think
say
he
is
was
that if
referring to
anyone is
me.
ill-equipped to wield power and influence, it's Sabrina Wadford. Let's be real, if she were running the city right now, the stock market would be crashing and there would be swaths of unemployment.
That's already happening, Don.
Yeah, but you would make it worse. Like 3.5 times worse. Like you'd impose a tax on sadness.
Well, at least I'd be balancing the
The
budget.
fact is, I have done everything possible to make this entire year work for us, but Sabrina has stood in my way every step of the journey. Let's just go over, real quick, all my accomplishments in office in spite of Sabrina.
Oh, here
I
we
have
go.
ended poverty, solved North Korea, befriended Russia, forced NATO to pay all their bills, defeated China, flown to the moon, invented cold fusion, resurrected Hitler, then killed him again. I've torn down the Berlin Wall using only my bare hands, and I wrestled the king of the alligators.
Yeah, aside from the alligator thing, you didn't do any of that.
Well, my voters believe otherwise. And most important of all, I did all that without even knowing I was gonna do it. I was just making it up as I went along. Can you believe I disarmed North Korea's entire nuclear program just by winging it? I am an incredible politician.
No, I don't believe it, and no one should believe it because it didn't happen. You've never even been to North Korea, Don.
Yes, I have. I did all that stuff without even platforming on it. My past term has been like that nightmare where you don't know that you've enrolled in Spanish class and then suddenly it's the final exams and you don't speak Spanish. But then you ace the test every day for 4 years straight. What's your platform like, Sabrina?
You're a stupid man. Tubby Dan, are we still answering the same question?
I will now ask another question. This one for the candidate of the most mediocre intelligence. If you were a tree, what type of tree would you be?
Oh, well, I suppose I'd be some kind of...
I'd be an American
fruit-bearing-
tree. A healthy, green, potentially on fire American tree.
You have both exceeded the time I allot you to answer that question.
Well, there's no timer. Can we see how much
No. Next question. In the city of Macaque, there has been a fair amount of social unrest and rioting, due in part to social grievances, particularly about race, but also probably because everyone's unemployed right now. Don Albo, you have been trying to tell us that you represent law and order. How have you upheld that lie?
Well, I've been shouting racial slurs at those guys for weeks now. I've been encouraging people to show up in large numbers with guns and threaten other people, and they just won't take the hint. So yeah, I've been pretty much like a shining beacon of order.
well, if unemployment is part of, the culprit here, then Shouldn't you be saying things are going to get better? I thought you were all about like, well, I've made so many jobs.
Well, nothing's ever going to get better for the Democrats. You know, I'm going to do everything in my power to make life worse for them and for the radical left-wing organization, #DonAlboSucks.
The Don Albo Sucks hashtag isn't really a real organization.
Well, tell that to my voters. Oh, wait, you can't because they don't listen to you. And I'd like you to recall that the police recently gunned down a Don Albo Sucks supporter because he shot an innocent card-carrying member of the New Order militia. And right after that guy had just paid all his dues and been promoted to a more inside part of that organization. #DonAlboSucks is killing innocent people. And the New Order militia are a bunch of heroes who are going to vote for me.
The New Order is a white nationalist movement.
No, they aren't. They're all about law and order. It says so right in the name.
I want to provide a rebuttal, but I can't tell if you're being stupid on accident or on purpose right now.
Always both.
Sabrina Watford, what would you do to represent law and order better than Dawn?
I don't know. Give the cops more money, I guess.
No, she won't. She's going to defund the police. That is trending like mad on Twitter right now.
Not because I support it. I'm a Democrat. I believe in throwing money at problems and expanding bureaucracy. Or at least I used to. To be honest, I'm not really sure anymore. But I think I'm probably going to throw money at it.
Well, then how come that stance isn't trending on Twitter?
Because it's too long of a hashtag, and I don't even know what it is.
Well, if it's not trending on Twitter, it's not even a real position these days. You're 10 years behind the times, Sabrina.
Dan Albo. Perhaps because you've been shouting racial slurs, and your supporters are shouting racial slurs, some of your critics have been saying that you're shouting a lot of racial slurs. Would you like to take an opportunity to condemn the use of racial slurs?
Nope.
Well, I will. As you know, my party has been very avid about allegedly helping black communities, and we are committed to continuing to allege that help.
The following question is for the politician who is most likely to renege on all of their promises. As the pandemic rages, Jeff Bezos has grown ever more powerful. He has collected 6 of the 7 shards of Bordercalis. He now has the ability to commune with animals. The countless city pigeons have become his spies. What type of people will you look for when you assemble a team of 4 plucky adventurers to stop him? Or will you betray humanity and side with the evil Lord Bezos?
It's a really
Alright, one thing we need to get straight, there is no inequality between the forces of good and evil right now. Jeff Bezos has 6 of the 7 crystals because he earned them. And I think the fact will show that the crystals he possesses will eventually fall into the hands of the people and will experience prosperity once again.
Don is trying to tap dance around the reality that as Jeff Bezos has collected more crystals, the entire world has fallen into chaos. Plagues, famine, global warming, it's all because we allowed the shards to fall into the hands of Jeff Bezos.
That is patently false. As Bezos merges with the material power of the cosmos, we have had a record increase in job growth, so long as you start measuring that metric from a point lower than the current job growth. It's basic science, and it's insane to try to argue with numbers like this. Personally, I will spend the next years of my term doing everything in my power to deliver the final crystal to Jeff Bezos, and I will then complete the transfer of cosmic authority into his capable hands.
Well, I have a simple plan to politely ask Jeff Bezos for 2 of the shards of Bordercalis. In exchange, I will give him the 7th shard regardless of his response, and I expect him to give me the other 2 as a show of good faith. If he does comply, I'll hold on to those shards for maybe 2 years and then return them with no conditions, thereby delaying the apocalypse for at least 2 more years while he firms up upon the throat of all society.
So just to be clear, neither of you will select a group of 4 adventurers to stand against Lord Bezos and his army of extragalactic demons.
Oh, I mean, there's no way we could compete with that kind of advertising power. If we did try to gather up 4 unlikely heroes, we'd lose our seats even with the gerrymandering.
Yeah, the reign of Lord Bezos is happening whether we like it or not.
Don, as the Republican candidate who wears his Christianity on his sleeve to secure Christian voters, do you have no interest in standing against evil and impropriety?
Well, my brand has done a really good job of redefining evil to be anything that isn't Republican. And Lord Bezos does donate a fair amount to all our campaigns, so he's walking a pretty delicate line. Likewise, we've sort of redefined Christianity for a lot of people to be just worshipping our brand. So definitely, if Bezos registers as a Republican, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
An interesting perspective. Sabrina?
I don't know.
You still have an indeterminate amount of time remaining on this question. Would you like to cede that time and move on?
Well, I mean, our brand's platform has really been up in the air these past few decades or so. I mean, we mostly just try to separate our brand from Don's enough to be unique, while adopting Don's policies to eat his lunch and steal his voters. Anyone who doesn't like it has no one else to vote for. But I mean, Don has been getting really crazy.
Crazy successful at kicking your ass.
I mean, I guess we'll give in to the great evil as well, but we'll complain the entire time. And try to blame the worst of it on the Republicans.
That is the most radically socialist approach I have ever heard to a problem. If we go down that road, we're going to be communist in no time.
Do you even know what communism or socialism is?
It's whenever you don't support being an American or a democracy. You know, if it had been up to you, I never would have wrestled the Alligator King.
Oh, you didn't even win that match.
Yeah, but I did present a compelling argument against liberalism, and then I flew to the moon through sheer force of will.
You didn't do either of those things. You twisted your ankle and then you cried. And then you fired your personal trainer and blamed him for everything.
My personal trainer betrayed me and this country. And if I'd had a better trainer, the Alligator King would be defeated and the swamp would be drained.
But you didn't beat him, did you? And worse, you vindicated his nuclear weapons program on the national stage. And you made fun of the Crawdad people, eliminating one more potential ally in our search for the 7th shard of Borticalis.
The Crawdad people were never going to help us with anything.
I mean, you kept saying that you were going to forge an alliance with the alligators and the Crawdads, and then you were like, oh, look at me, I'm having a personal meeting with the king of the alligators. Well, when we offered him light graphite nuclear reactors, he spat in our face. But a photo op with Don, wow, that's really valuable. I'm sure that would have changed his mind.
When did we offer him nuclear reactors?
Oh my god. This was all the way back in the 90s we were trying to do this.
Why would we offer the king of alligators nuclear reactors?
Because, Don, God, do you read your briefings? He was importing enriched uranium under the insistence that he was building nuclear reactors. Carbon reactors use carbon instead, so you can't build a bomb with them, and that would satisfy...
Hang on.
What?
This has got way too much substance. I can feel people just turning off their TVs.
Oh my god, no, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no. The public stage is not a good place to talk about, I mean, like, the difference between nuclear reactors or politics.
I just, it feels pent up. Like, we don't really get to talk about anything of substance anymore, I mean...
Well, the branding has gotten to be a lot about...
ignorance.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think people just like when I shout at you. Because you're a big stupid bitch and you deserve it.
Well, you know what? I'm going to rise above that hate, and I'm going to be above completely petty assholes like yourself. I'm the better person.
I now conclude this debate.
Wait, is it over? Do they not get closing statements?
I guess. I mean, what would you have wanted them to say?
What is a shard of Borticalis?
I don't know. First they got into that, then they got in the nuclear reactor thing. They don't usually go that deep into the minutiae of politics during these debates.
Man, who'd have thought that Tubby Dan was such a policy wonk?
I know, right? Hope this doesn't hurt anyone's ratings.
As a disclaimer, today's segment was paid for specifically by Don and Sabrina, so it was free of our usual advertisers. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to Radio Skyline. Shoot for the skies.